Okay, we are now at our campsite in Uwharrie. And while these guys are getting their tent set up, because it'll take them a few minutes, I just wanted to take a quick opportunity to introduce you Bunker Industries traction boards. So we're out here this weekend kind of testing out these boards. The guys at VicOffRoad sent these to me and said, hey, why don't you check these out and give us a review and see what you're doing. So my initial impression when the box showed up and I opened them up is that these are actually very sturdy. They're a lot thicker and stronger than I thought they were going to be, and I can still move them around, so they should be flexible like you need them to be. They are actually made out of a nylon material and not plastic, so they shouldn't break. They should withstand temperature quite very well. The reason that I selected these, there's a couple of reasons. One, this small size works fantastic for being in janky here. There isn't a lot of room, it's a small SUV. I don't have a truck with a big rack, and with my rooftop tent up on the overhead rack, I don't have a lot of room left over. So it's nice to be able to have something small, folds up into this little bag that I can tuck away anywhere. I can put it between the bins in the back, I can put it behind a seat. You can tuck these things almost anywhere. Look, I mean, they're quite very small. This also comes with this centerpiece here that has a perfect pattern on it that fits down in here, so you can put a high lift jack in there, you can put a bottle jack, you know, the factory jack, whatever you need, so you can put this down on the ground and really be able to stabilize the jack while you're lifting your vehicle up. And if you're not using this as a jacking support, this actually clips in like so that it actually connects. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. So it connects all three pieces, giving you that longer board. So if you're in a situation where you do need the extra momentum and to actually get more speed out of the longer board versus just a short one, you can do that. And then this will, you know, get into whatever position you need it to go. These may not be as effective for bridging larger open expanses, obviously because of their small size, but they seem very strong, and they are also spiked on both sides, so it can get a good grip on the ground and a good grip on your tire. But mainly what I wanted to use these for, because I do have a winch, I've got some different means of recovery, is because I've got the rooftop tent, I think these are going to be absolutely perfect to stick under the tires and be able to get the truck leveled out. So I can use these for leveling the truck when it's time to go camping, and I can use them for recovery should we be out on the trail, and this is something that I need. Small size, be able to tuck it away. These come with this purpose-built bag, which the boards stow away in it, fantastic. And if you keep the bag clean, even if you get these dirty, you can put them inside the bag, put it back in your truck, and be able to keep things clean. Lastly, even though these do fold up and go into their carry bag, they also still have the mounting holes, so if you wanted to mount them to your roof rack or you know, a bed cap or something like that, you still have that option. Lastly, included with the kit are these straps. And if I'm perfectly honest, there's no instructions. I'm not really sure what these are for, but I suspect that you know, before using these, you kind of wrap these through something like that, okay? And now this gives you a recovery point so that you can put this on the ground, and if the board itself gets driven down into the mud or the sand, being able to yank on this strap makes it a lot easier to retrieve. I'm guessing that's what it's for. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna find out. So we're gonna finish getting set up camp here. It looks like these guys are almost done. And then we're gonna get back on the trail, and let's go see if we can't get ourselves stuck and use these to get us out. So unfortunately, my bottle jack is just a little bit too big to fit inside of that foothole. But I think, because not one size fits all, if we just kind of trim that down a little bit, that should work out just fine. But the theory of this is you set your jack on top of this to stabilize it, put it under the truck, and now you've got this whole system going across to stabilize the jack so that you don't end up, you know, you got your jack up on a rock and it's tipping back and forth. So I like the idea, but unfortunately my specific bottle jack does not work. What are you gonna do? We are home now after a fantastic weekend up in Uwharrie, the Uwharrie Forest up in North Carolina. Lots of good trails up there, fantastic time, good friends, awesome wheeling. It was an awesome time. Just wanted to give you my final opinion on these Bunker Industries mini traction mats, is how they have them described. So these are the mini traction boards that will connect together with this centerpiece here. They come with this bag, and then this centerpiece that connects everything together. Also does you the handy job of flipping around so that you can place a jack down on there, use it on the trail so you can stabilize the jack, be it a bottle jack or a high lift jack or what people like to call a farm jack. Really any type of jack that you would be using on the trail. Being able to have a large stable platform to lift your vehicle from is a whole lot better than just hoping that there isn't, you know, something, a tree root or something goofy in your way that stops you from being able to lift your vehicle safely. As you can see here, I actually had to slightly modify this piece to fit my specific jack. So this specific jack that I carry with me, this bottle jack, might be a little bit overkill for what I'm doing with it. But it was a little bit too large. The base of it wouldn't quite fit down inside the recess. And so I have trimmed this up just a little bit to make it fit. Now it fits in there perfect. It's very stable. Unfortunately, or possibly fortunately, we didn't get ourselves into a position this weekend where we actually needed the traction mats to recover. We're stuck on the trail or stuck in the mud, whatever. We managed to get all the way through. So I did take a little bit of video that you saw a minute ago of actually utilizing these, setting them up as they're designed to use, driving over them. I did find that when they were attached together, they stayed together fairly well. They were flexible. I had this propped up against a rock on the top, the ground on the bottom, and as I drove up the mat, it was able to flex and contort to be able to really get a good grip on the tire and the surface that was underneath, as opposed to just squirting out from underneath. When the two boards were connected together with this center locking piece in the middle, it actually held them together fairly well. With them connected, I left them sitting where they were and I drove over them 4 times. And on the 4th time I drove over, they actually pulled themselves apart. So you can see here in the board, there are these 4 slots that line up with these 4, you know, fingers or hooks, if you will. And all of this snaps together and that holds it together. Unfortunately, on the last pass that I made going across, you can see that the fingers kind of started to pull each other apart, and these got a little bit deformed. You can see that this is not straight anymore. These are bent here, these are bent here. I should be able to use a pair of pliers, maybe a little bit of heat, and straighten these back out so that they will once again function as they were intended. From the moment I pulled these out of the box, as much as I like these boards and as they're very thick and robust and flexible, I was always a little concerned about the way these fingers interlock in there and thought, you know, I've got a 5,000 pound vehicle that's going to be driving over these. Are these little fingers going to hold up? And in fact, they're still on there, but they're a little deformed. So you could say that they didn't really hold up. However, it was on the 4th pass without readjusting them or moving them or making sure that everything was still together as it was supposed to be. It took 4 passes to get them to come apart. So I would have already, you know, had I been stuck in a position where, I've got to get the traction to get it out and get it, I would have been out and down the road and this would have been collapsed up. You wouldn't be driving back and forth over it 4 times, right? So other than this little interlocking piece, or specifically just the fingers that hold everything together, I was very happy with these. The boards are fantastic. They are flexible. They're spiked on both sides so that they can grab everything that they need to grab, the tire and the ground, and they're flexible enough to be able to manipulate and keep traction where you need it. They also worked perfectly for being able to lay down on the ground, drive up on them, and level the truck out so you can get the tent leveled out and sleep a lot more comfortably in there. And the fact that they are so small, and you package them up into this nice tiny little package and you can tuck them away wherever you want, I think they're fantastic. Even though these little clips or fingers came apart and now I'm gonna have to do a little manipulating to get this back together, I am very happy with this. Just had to trim up this jacking piece here just a little bit to fit my specific bottle jack on there. Most other jacks would likely fit. This just has a little bit bigger base on it. At the time of this recording, VicOffRoad is offering these at $69.99 for the whole setup you see here. The 2 boards with this centerpiece, comes with the carry bag, everything you need. And at that money, I couldn't be happier. In fact, I may actually end up, even though they sent these out to me to review, I may actually end up going and purchasing another set just so I can carry 2 sets with me. I think if you're in a position like I am where you have a vehicle and you don't have a lot of open space to carry full-size traction boards, these are a fantastic addition. Yeah, a small traction board like this isn't going to function the same as a full-size traction board. It just won't, right? Because it's smaller. But these Bunker Industries mini traction mats give you the option of carrying traction boards with you when you do have limited space. And you can just kind of tuck these in somewhere inside of your truck so that they're out of the way and you don't have to have a great big rack to carry them on. So I want to say thank you to the guys at VicOffRoad. I would like to tell you guys, hey, go on and check those guys out. It's VicOffRoad, that's VicOffRoad.com. They've got a lot of different products there. They've got traction mats and they've got different recovery. They have a lot of LED lighting options for you. And I want to thank you for watching this review. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight as to what these are, help you make a decision as to whether or not they will work for you. And I look forward to seeing you on the trail or in another video.